Okay, so it's pretty commonly known that Nagoriyuki is a character about resource management, and his special moves do cost a resource called Blood, which is above his tension bar. But what I find a lot of people don't know is how much blood each move does and when and where you can use them. And it makes sense because it's not listed at all in the command list. It won't show you how much blood they do at all. So I'll start with Clone. Clone, as you can see, is one of the more expensive ones. It costs about 2/3 of your blood. But it does go through all fireballs and it has invul. Even some supers. It can go through some supers. It's really, really good. But it does cost a decent amount, and especially if you combo it with your command dash, it's gonna cost a decent amount of blood. As you can see, just about a whole bar and a quarter or so. That's a very decent amount of blood. So be wary of that. Here is your command dash. This does the least amount of blood out of your blood special moves. Just 1/4 or so. And when you hold the thing, it actually does cost the same amount as blood if you were to input it manually. It does it slower. So be warned. And also forward costs the exact same. So just about a quarter. You can get quite a few command dashes out before your blood fills up. And of course you can just hold it like this and get your absolute maximum amount. Then you'll get blood rage. Next I'll go over Beyblade, which is 2 and 4H. This move does just about the same as Fireball, so about 2/3 or so for blood gauge. One of the more expensive moves, but you're going to be using this move quite a lot, so it's very important to realize how much blood this move does. Again, it can be cancelled with your other blood moves, and it'll do about a quarter or so, or a whole bar and a quarter or so. And here is your DP. Remember, it's 2 hits, and if you do all 2 hits, it counts as 2 special moves. Interestingly enough, it actually will cost less if you do both hits, but it's important. You'll be using it like this all the time, and this costs quite a bit of blood, just like 2/3, just like about every other special move you have. And I'll do it in sequence with this. That's going to be about 2 bars or so, yeah. And if you were to do it like this is just going to be about a bar and a half, or about a bar and 2/3. Very often though, you're not going to want to use both hits of this move. I mean, it does okay damage, but you don't really get very much OP off of it, despite it being a hard knockdown. And you can get a whole lot more off of doing combos like this. So I wouldn't use it all too often like that. Okay, so let's go over what you should and should not do at various blood levels. So let's start with 1 full bar of blood. This is about here, so pretty much here you're fairly free to do whatever you'd like. I can still do a combo like this. I won't go over budget, but my blood will be pretty high, as you can see. Kind of risky, but you can still do things. Blood level 1 is, for the most part, a safe place, but again, you don't want to do too much because you'll be going pretty high in terms of your blood. If you know, or you want to bet the risk of doing a command grab, go for it, because you'll be fine. Of course, the command grab drains quite a bit of your blood, so you'll be fine to do almost anything you want. If you're at levels 2 or higher, you pretty much cannot do anything at all. I mean, you'll have your some new meterless conversions like 2S 5H, because your 5H is faster. just a bit faster now. But for the most part, you can't really do that much. If you do a special move, you'll be going over budget, like so. This one, your Blood Rage, and this costs just about the same amount as all of your moves, as you know from the previous part. So when you're at level 2 Blood or higher, I'd say the absolute most you can do is just doing a Fukyo. And even then, it can be kind of risky because your blood will be like right there. So be very cognizant of where your blood is at any time. As when you see the blood going lower, because you'll see it going lower sometimes. If you're like right here at like just right at 2 bars, you can squeeze in a fireball. If you're just right there, if you get exactly 2 bars and you're stuck there, you could do one special move. That's about it. It's important for matchups like against Kai or something. If you know your blood level is high because you've been trying to use your moves for pressure, and I mean the Kai's are only for free because what can you do? You can do a fireball from if your blood level is like right at 2 bars, but it has to be literally right there. Anything over and you'll go into Blood Rage, and you don't want that, of course. And obviously, if you're at 0 bars of blood, do whatever you want. Just don't go over budget. I'm sure you know your basic B&B combos, what you can and cannot do, what you should and shouldn't do. So I'll leave that to you guys. You know what you can and can't do, and you know pressure you want to go for as well. Again, some routes you'll do actually will decrease your blood enough to continue pressuring afterwards. Like if you want to go for something like this, you know, you get your little strike throw mix from that. Pretty cool. If you want to go for a combo like this, again, strike throw mix, pretty nice. And again, a 6 stage, so your blood will decrease pretty rapidly. If I set the Kai to not jump, of course, you'll be able to do plenty of things, like your standard pressure, you know, 6 stage meaties and all that, all the fun stuff, all the reasons why you play Nagoriyuki. You know, you can do it. It's just very important to know how much blood each move costs, but really it's really important to know to understand how much blood you're doing after every single interaction. So now I'll cut and I'll show you some very common Nagoriyuki sequences and how much blood they'll cost, so you can know when you can Fukyo afterwards, when you can start going for your 6 meaty pressure, your close slash meaty pressure, all that stuff. You know, going for stuff like 6k, command dash back 6k, which is really strong and it's really good. I want you to know when and where you cannot pressure. Okay, so now I want to get into using moves after your command grab. Your command grab heals quite a bit of blood, and also heals you slightly. So I'll get my blood rage or my blood meter to just about as far as I can get to safely, like right here. As you can see, drained completely. But if I do moves during the blood transition, like, you know, blood draining down, it's still going to come back to bite me later. But I do get a decent amount where I'm just doing these things for free, like so, right? A little bit of blood comes back because I still went a little bit over budget with the amount that Blood Rage will, the Blessed Universe will heal. But you get quite a bit that you can do during that little free period that you get during your Bloodsucking Universe command grab. Sorry, bear with me. I have a little bit of a stutter. So I'll set Kai to not do a button because I usually have Kai to do a button for my usual like frame trap stuff I want to practice, but you can really do quite a bit while your things are going on. like so. Look at that. I started basically almost Blood Rage. Anything I do would take me to Blood Rage, and then I did all of that chip and risk for free. Not for free, but you know, I didn't die from that. Because if I were to do it without you know, my blood command grab thing, that's basically it. Like, yeah, I'm like right there. I could get command grab. So like think of it this way. If as long as you can get command grab, your pressure can endlessly reset, constantly resets. It's crazy. Your character is like insane when as soon as you get the command grab. But remember, you cannot go too crazy. If you want to do like things like you know, dumb things like this, I'll show you when I get my blood rage up. If you want to do dumb things like this, I would not recommend it. Of course, it's possible, and this is a true block string, but I mean, your blood's filled up, and you can get a whole lot more off of your Blood's Universe command grab anyway. So it's very important to lab what you want to do at various blood levels. My best advice is to do sequences that you often do. Like, for example, sequence I often do is 2S, 214HS, 2S, like this, right? So if I get a command grab here, there's quite a bit I can do. Or I went into doing a combo, but if I get a command grab here, there's quite a bit I can do. Because I don't have to worry about anything essentially. I'm just free. Blood is not really a factor. I can go ballistic if I really want to. It is a factor, of course, but I get a whole lot more than if I was doing a combo like this. Or yeah, not that. If I was doing a combo like this, it's a whole lot less scary. To start going crazy with blood after something like that. It's insane the way your pressure works after getting just one single command grab. I mean, like right here, I can just push Kai to the corner for free without a worry at all, and I'm at 1 bar. And even if you really want to, you can do certain things like this to end in 2 bars of blood in a safe manner, to where your pressure can be super crazy afterwards. With your faster 5H and bigger pokes that cost less blood. It's you have so much freedom once you understand that the blood command grab doesn't just take away all your blood, and it doesn't just let you do whatever you want for however long you want. There is a method to this, and it varies per blood level you have. But generally, as long as you get the command grab, I'm sure many of you know this, go crazy. Like, scare people, make some throws. I mean, like, I think just the ability to have things like this, meaty, like, nothing. Like, this is insane. This is very good. It's very good. So again, God said your character becomes triple S when you get the command grab, and I feel like that's very true. Nago gets absolutely insane. I think he has the best pressure in the entire game, even without the command grab. I think he has the best pressure in the entire game. With command grab, it's ugly tested. You're insane. Like, do whatever you want, almost to a point. Yeah. Okay, so in summary, blood is not that scary once you understand how much your moves do. Every move that isn't Fukyo or both hits of this will do about the same amount of blood. Fireball does quite a bit of blood. 214HS, Beyblade does quite a bit of blood. DP does quite a bit of blood. Fukyo does not a lot of blood. Just does about a quarter. When you're at higher levels of blood, like 2 bars and above, you can't do any. You really should not do any special moves other than Fukyo, and even then, Be very careful when and where you Kukyo. Your main goal should be using your insane pokes and not trying to poke with your special moves, like when your blood is lower. It's not going to work. You're going to die for this, and I see this happen way too often when I'm watching newer Nago players. So that's why I'm making this guide. I want you guys to understand that your character plays different in every single bar of blood. When your bar is over at 1, you're somewhat free, but doing anything at all will put you in the higher levels of blood where you can't do much. So you can be way more liberal than when you're at this level of blood, but still be very careful. And when you're empty levels of blood, this is crazy time. Go crazy, pressure, do what you need to do, and understand that maybe at ranges like this, maybe you do want to be at higher levels of blood because of your insane pokes that go literally the entire screen. It's insane. And also this being a natural combo because your 5H is faster, and this being a natural combo on hit because your 5H is faster. It's crazy what you can do. That's all I wanted to talk about today. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I really hope this guide helped you. Hopefully my stutter wasn't too noticeable, and hopefully I explained it well enough to you. I just really want people to understand how this character works, and I feel like if there were more guides out there for, you know, how much blood you, if there are more guides out there for like how much blood every interaction does and things like that, and if people were cognizant of how the character switches modes at different levels of blood, I think every Nago player would be stronger for it. So yeah. Also, if you get blood rage, just don't be discouraged. It happens to the best of us. Sometimes we all get blood rage when we don't expect it, when we don't want it to. Just be calm and trust what you know, and trust the game. That's all I gotta say. It's James Trombone. I'll see y'all later.